take, maybe. My hot take? Well, I think some artists need to put a little more energy in their live set.
Overly complicated tracks are things that kind of ruin a track for me.
Don't stick to any kind of genre label.
Future bass is the worst music genre ever created.
Barber Beats was the original vaporwave.
Fuck General MIDI Choir, it's all bad.
Bruh.
Worst album artwork I've ever seen is Green Day's Father of All Motherfuckers, probably.
I find new music often, and I usually illegally download it.
Stuff that sounds good. Sampleless vaporwave is still vaporwave, buddy.
MIDI wave is a form of vaporwave. Deal with it.
Gen Z's the future of vaporwave. I said it. What is your musical guilty pleasure, vape bearer?
It's gotta be K-pop.
If you don't like mint chocolate chip ice cream, you are a baby.
Music isn't real.
I smell weed.
I'm Dan Mason. This is Vape Eric. This is FM Skyline.
This is Mesh.
Yo, this is Groovy Kaiju. This is Christ. You're listening to
Hot Takes.
That's the one.
Don't touch my records. Ever.
Yo, okay, so we're live now, bud. Now we're live and people can hear us. What's up, guys? Welcome to Hot Takes. We've got a hell of a show for you tonight between me and Skelly and our special, highly acclaimed guest, Patchnotes. We want to remind everybody tonight that the guest interaction is our top priority at all times. Well, technically, it's the artist, but if you guys have questions, sound off in the chat. We're going to let, of course, Skelly get in his biographical questions, and I'm going to ask my shoot-from-the-hip questions. But if you have questions, they're getting asked first. Keep us in the loop about volume levels. If anyone is too loud or too quiet, music is too loud, music is too quiet, Kyle's too loud, whatever, let us know. You got some commands you can play around with. You can follow if you want to follow our socials. You can Skelly if you want to follow Skelly. You can Shiro if you want to follow me. You can donate if you feel led to do so. All donations go towards things like logo commissions, artwork, equipment upgrades. Totally optional, but very much appreciated. You can hit that Spotify. You can check out our Spotify playlist, including a brand new playlist courtesy of Frank Jav C, with some of his favorite tracks from his childhood. Definitely recommend you check that one out. And then, of course, last but not least, you can hit that Discord. I think I just updated the invite link to jump into our official community Discord server where we argue, debate, laugh, and talk about fast food way too often. We've got some recommendations courtesy of the good doctor coming, and something else that I wanted to so we've got some special promo before we get into the Rex. You can get 2 of Kyle's albums for the price of 1. His 2 albums that are on Pacific Plaza if you follow the link that I'm about to post in chat. Thank you for your generous donation, Luxury Noise. If you follow the link, and thank you, Lux, you go to the Bandcamp, you can get Patchnotes 2 albums for the price of 1, and that includes that CD bundle too. Hell of a deal, especially if you're a fan, you got to check it out. And if you're not, by the end of the broadcast, I mean, that we'll bust that link out again. So I'm going to turn the airspace over to the doctor for some recommendations.
Okay, so first thing I'm going to recommend is a new album by Alpha Chrome Yayo, who you may be familiar with. He is such a personality, very interesting man who is just so fun and vivacious, and just his own very unique brand of energy is incredibly infectious, right? You just tell that man is just enjoying every moment that he has to make music, and he does it in a very playful way. So the album I'm going to recommend by him is a little bit more left field. It's a new album he came out with called Hidden Earth, which is sort of like a new age album that he designed. And it's really fun to see Alpha Chrome Yayo, who you are very familiar with, having a lot of energy and a lot of bouncy sort of personality, sort of almost go in the complete opposite and do this sort of pensive, reflective album called Hidden Earth. And so it's really fun. It's like a new take on new age music that's really fun, and it's still really fun. That's actually the funny thing about it too, is that you could still sense the fun in it, even when he is doing like the most peaceful and serene things, right? The most peaceful and serene kind of music, you can still feel his personality kind of undulating underneath all these rhythms. And that's what I like about it so much, is seeing somebody, you know, do who you associate with a certain type of, you know, outlook and a certain type of production style, going into something completely different and doing a phenomenal job at it. It's, you know, I'd almost say, wow, how unexpected. But actually, you know, just thinking about him and just thinking about what he's like, it's almost to be expected that he would do something like this. You know what I mean? To like sort of explore that. Like that just, it's always interesting to see artists sort of move toward exploring another side of themselves, because, you know, that's how you become well-rounded. That's how you continue to understand who you are and as an artist. And this was a really fun side quest that he put together, and I highly recommend it.
He's quite good at those.
Is one of my favorite. Yeah, he is. Well, he's extremely talented. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he is.
Very talented person.
Very multifaceted.
So, you know what I mean? There's also like a bit of like guitar in this as well. It's just kind of like a little bit of a folky tinge to it also. So it's just a very interesting journey, and I highly recommend it. And I think you guys should check it out. And, you know, it's definitely like, you know, I think that oftentimes like he's out in space trying to like get you out there and dance, but this is him kind of bringing you down to Earth and almost becoming part of the Earth. So check it out. It's a very interesting experience. That's the Alpha Chrome Yayo.
Well said.
And another one I'm going to recommend is okay, and is a album on Neon City that just came out pretty recently. It's called, oh man, I don't know, Ixion? How you pronounce it? Aexion.
Yeah, I think it's Ixion.
Ixion came out with an album called Dream Fantasy recently, which is a very fun flanger and synthesizer heavy future funk album, which is wonderful if you are looking for some new tracks to play in dance parties that are going to sound good through the speakers and flow well with other tracks. This is a wonderful album. It's very energetic through and through. It is funky. It is also vaporwavy as well, and it is very it's a wonderful bouncy thing to have into your sets if you're actually up against a wall and you don't know what you're going to want to play and you want to do something that the crowd's going to like. This is a reliable album. I can recommend it very strongly.
Nice.
And so I'm going to put that. Those are my other recommendation, and once again, that is Dream Fantasy.
Coming from a DJ, that means a lot.
Well, that's the thing, exactly. Like I know that I did Terminally Chill last weekend or last week.
Yeah.
And so I got me thinking. I'm like, well, I need what I want to get. I was looking for some kind of new music, a few new albums to add each time I do it, and I came across this one, and great. It's great. It's nice little it's nice fodder for the cannon. You know what I mean? It's strong bullets for your cannon. Strong bullets for your cannon, right?
You tested it out and it works.
I did, yeah. It's strong bullets for the cannon, so like that's good. You know, it's all, you know, as we all know, sometimes it's hard to find the future funk that will sound good and flow well and actually, you know, has the rhythms that make people dance. This one does. These guys are getting better and better. These people are getting more and more professional. It's pretty impressive. It's impressive stuff. Okay, so then the last album I'm going to recommend, let's go on to another type of vibe, is going to be from Stratford Court. It's an album by Youth 83 called Progress Way. And Stratford Court, of course, known for many of their sort of gauzy synthesizer, synthwavy, acts, right? Obviously, chill synth sort of stuff, with our good friend Ben from Hotel Pools, one of their linchpin artists, right? But this album is called Progress Way. It's by Youth 83. It sounds like it's very dark. It's very interesting. It is these very nice. Now, one of the things I like about it is the bass on this album is very, very low and very, very droney. So it sounds almost like a car motor, like humming, like like it sounds like that sort of sound to it. So it's a very fun vibe on that whole album. Very, very Boards of Canada-y, but chill synthy as well. So I highly recommend that one as well. It's great, but that's like my favorite thing about it though is that bass that kind of undulates throughout the whole album.
Very cool.
Because I don't always hear specifically that kind of bass in this sort of music. I don't often hear this sort of like droney, like sounds like a bunch of bees sort of bass.
It sounds like you're describing Witch House.
Well, it sort of reminds me.
I'm certain it's not.
It's not. Well, yeah, but Witch House and Wave does use a bass like that pretty frequently, right? But this album is doing it too, but doing a chill synth version of it. So that's why I really
interesting.
Found interested in this album a lot. And it's the first album I've listened to by Youth 83. but I'm gonna go now check out the rest of their work. I think they
Right.
have a new album already. So anyway, that's on Stratford Court. Go pick that up as well. Yes.
Thanks for the links, by the way, Lux. She linked all 3 of those albums. So if anyone is interested, follow those links. They got the
You know, I
Skelly
love
stamp
Witch,
of
you know I
approval.
love Witch House. So like,
Yeah.
obviously, when I find
I'm
like,
itching to
when
hear
I-
this.
When I find something that's like it's not, and it doesn't sound like it, but when it's nice to, it's interesting when you feel something like borrowed a little bit. It's interesting. That first song on that album is great. What was the first song called?
Stratford Court is so consistent with their output. Like,
Hey,
man,
Andrew knows what he's doing.
never anything bad from Stratford Court. While you look up that first track, I want to talk a little bit about
Wave Rush. That's what it's called.
Wave
Wave Rush.
Rush by Youth 83.
That hit me pretty
I'm
hard
excited
first,
about
right?
hearing this. I want to bring up a topic before we bring on our illustrious guest that's very dear to us, and it's very central to what we do. And it's discussing art when you disagree with somebody about that art, right? Now, there, of course, are quantifiable signifiers that can be used to determine the quality of something, right? Like how long somebody spent working on it, or how difficult it was to attain the skill level that they needed in order to create their art. You could look at it from a capitalist standpoint, how much money they made, right? How many views or listens or plays they got. But at the end of the day, what you can't quantify is how strongly somebody was moved by art. I mean, maybe you can rate it on Rate Your Music or Pitchfork, but the fact of the matter is, some things, the effect that a work of art has on somebody can totally be divorced by those other things, like how much time was put into making it, how much skill was required to make it, you know? And it's just kind of one of those crazy things about art, you know? But I guess what I'm getting at is, in a wonderful world where we can disagree and argue and debate about whether we think a certain genre of music is superior to another or something like that, or one artist's album is better than the other, at the end of the day, I just got to remind everybody that this is all subjective. And if you're going to talk to people, at least this is my opinion, if you're going to talk to people as a fan of art for like decades, you got to like remember that one man's trash is another man's potpourri. And frankly, there's not a way to win an argument about art. I mean, unless we're talking, Chris, about something that's a quantifiable metric, right? But you can't, like, say a certain genre of rap, for example, is better than another one and win that argument. And I recommend that y'all not do that. Or if you're doing it, like, just try to pump the brakes, because it's fun to talk about these. Thank you very much, Obson, for the donation. It's fun to talk about these things. It's not fun to fight about these things. At least that's what I think. What do you think, Chris?
I think that electro swing, you're too hard on it, and I think you. I mean,
You thought of that one like 3 minutes ago. Okay,
Well,
that's
you
a bit. I'll say it in front of God and everybody. That's a bit. I truly don't like electro swing.
I can listen to Caravan Palace on occasion.
Okay,
So if I start talking about Caravan Palace, you're gonna start jumping down my throat. That you're gonna call electro swing terrible.
No.
Are you gonna do that?
If I do, it'll be
violate. Are you gonna violate your rules?
Am I gonna fight with you about it? No. Am I gonna give you a heart? Am I gonna actually try to debate you about why they're objectively shitty? No.
Are you gonna? You're not gonna debate me about electro swing?
Well, I'm not gonna actually.
Like, what
try
if someone comes in and says, like, starts giving you like good reasons as to why electro swing is really good? Are you gonna let them
You know
do
what?
that?
All music is Detroit Neo Hypertronica, anyways. So nobody wins,
Yeah.
and everybody
I don't know.
wins.
I don't ever participate in that sort of stuff. I'm never even really into Discord that much. But listen, you know, people just be nice.
Or on Twitter, or just whatever. Like,
oh yeah. Oh, I mean, and I've gotten in it before.
Yeah.
Actually.
End of the day, man.
Every time I have gotten in it and I have done that, I do it. I go back and I'm like, hey man, I should. I don't know. I should have said.
I can't wait to see what Kyle has to say about Twitter.
Every time I've gotten myself involved with something like that, and I used to do that a lot. I would always be like.
I think what I'm trying to say is, y'all, like, you're not going to win an argument with somebody about what is objectively better just let it go.
Here's
Don't
the
lose
thing.
friends.
Here's the thing. Just, you gotta like, what's to say? Well, I don't know. So there's like this, like, the best reaction I ever have when someone is trying to egg me on, or I'm trying, or if I've ever been trying to egg somebody else on, the best reaction they do to me is usually when they just like sort of like go, okay. And like when you get that like non-reactive reaction, from somebody, if you're trying to egg them on or they're trying to egg you on, and you get the non-reactive thing, that's like kind of how you win,
Yeah,
So I don't know why everybody gets so deep. I don't know why everybody keeps getting involved in that sort of thing. It's not worth it. It's good.
It's
Whatever.
worth it when it's fun,
fine.
but I would like to go ahead and transition into introducing our guest, Patchnotes, who has been a valued member of Pacific Plaza, Coast to Coast Collective, and a dear friend of the show for sure, and many of the people who tune into the show. He's been in the audience before, so we're glad to finally be able to bring him on the big screen. Patchnotes has a new album out. I'll let them talk about it, but recently released that's getting a lot of acclaim. And as I mentioned to them earlier, the response to the promotion has been very good. People know and people love Patchnotes. So we're going to go ahead and bring them on. You can go ahead and unmute yourself, fella. Let's take the screensaver down. There he is. Welcome to Hot Takes, Patchnotes.
Thanks for having me.
Happy to have
We're
you
excited
here,
to have you.
I'm excited too.
We want to know, first and foremost, before Skelly gets into it and the chat starts rolling in with the questions, what are your thoughts on the debate about music or art?
I'm not really sure.
Compelling stuff, Kyle.
Yeah.
You at some point you will go back and you'll go, hey, actually I want to change my opinion on that.
Too late now. Now it belongs to the ages. It's too late.
Yeah. It's a delicate thing, right? I mean, I'm sure you remember being in high school and people would be like, your music sucks.
Oh yeah.
And you would just be like, no, it doesn't. And that was like,
Yeah. Yeah, no one really listened to like showwave or like electronic music where I was from.
It's all techno, right? Or beats.
Yeah.
They all
basically
beats.
When I was younger, I would get in it with people about music, and I was the sort of person that would totally tell them, what the fuck we're talking about. You're dumb. But I realized
that's funny.
I don't do that as much anymore, and I realized because you know what, I just have a lot to learn. That's what happened to me eventually. It's like I had so much to learn, and
as much as I love music, I don't know shit about it.
Yeah.
You know so much about it.
I mean, I know a little bit about some of it. Ask me about
a little
rap.
bit about some of it.
I mean, Strip
rap.
Silence gives me such a hard time about how little I know about rap music. So
I remember watching you and
me.
Corey Mist going back and forth about all these things that I had no idea about.
That is true, but that was cloud rap. But I guess
awesome.
everyone has a forte.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to go ahead and light up the chat with questions for our boy, we'll go ahead and get started with Skelly's round of questions.
I mean, like, remember the time that we were talking about Refused and I got mad at you for something you didn't even say?
Yes.
I'm like, no,
it's a little bit of an inside joke at this point.
That's not the first fucking Refused album. And like, you didn't even say it. That was the thing. Like, you didn't, I didn't even say that, Chris.
I think I said New Noise.
And you knew it was, no, but you didn't even say that was the first. I thought you said that.
Yeah, true.
Before that was the first album, The Shape of Funk. It's like, and you didn't even say that. So, like, that's like.
There has been just as much ire coming from me about something that you said or just misspoke about, and I don't remember what it was.
Oh,
but
really?
it was, and it wasn't long ago, but it's escaping me, whatever it was about. It was just a misstep, and immediately you caught yourself, but I caught you first.
Did you call me first?
Yeah.
Good job. Good job.
But anyways,
yes.
We've got plenty of time to get our questions in. While we wait on those, why don't we get started getting to know our guest?
My question?
You go first, buddy. You know I'm going to shoot from the hip in about an hour, so be my guest.
Kyle.
Yes.
Kyle. You make music, right?
I do.
That's great. Good job.
I do.
That's phenomenal. good work. First of all, good job.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I like Kyle a lot. Every time like I have an interaction with Kyle, like I just feel the urge to be silly, and I don't know. Something about that's like
Yeah.
I know. I don't know. Like that does not everybody makes me feel that way. So like that's pretty cool.
Thank
That's
you.
why I'm very happy to have you on the show. Anyway, Kyle, nice
For
to
real.
have you. Thanks for
Thank
making
you.
music. Appreciate that. But in all seriousness, like I don't know, like when did you? How long have you been making music for? What got you into wanting to make music, basically?
So I've like kind of always wanted to do it, and I like played guitar a little bit, like when I was a little younger. I've like always kind of wanted to do production, but like I think the thing that like really stopped that from happening was not having any money to do so.
Yikes.
I'll do it.
Yeah, it can get like so expensive. So yeah, I like played a little guitar when I was younger, and that's pretty much it. And then like when the pandemic happened, I was going through a really like rough time. I got out of a relationship. I moved out and lived on my own for the first time. Was really looking for something to do, and that was like around the time like I got into George Clanton. I found out who that was, and I think it was like Virtua.zip. I listened to that, and like the next day I was like, all right, I'm gonna do this. So yeah, I just like bought Ableton and like went into it. So I haven't really been doing it for
Wow,
a long time. Yeah.
I had no idea that you haven't been doing this because you do phenomenal work. You obviously,
Yeah,
you obviously
it's
have
clearly
it in
been
you
cooking
already.
for a while.
It's been cooking for a while. So, oh wow, so that's interesting to talk to you because most people we talk to, they have been producing, and they're like they started a long time ago. They've been doing it for several years. So that's kind of really interesting. So did you play like? What kind of bands what kind of music were you interested in?
I mean,
George Clanton.
I mean, just like
You're interested in production, so like
yeah, like Washed Out is a huge one.
Hell
like
yeah.
I still listen to Washed Out like every single day.
Sick.
Oh yeah,
like every day.
I can see that. Yeah.
Neon Indian.
Can't go wrong with the Chillwave
Alan
gods.
Palomo's new track is so good.
Oh yeah, the Nudista Mundial track.
Yeah, it's so ridiculously good.
It is.
And the art for it is like, oh, so good.
It's cool as fuck for sure. I think that's Robert Beatty actually.
Yeah. What else did that person do stuff for One Out Tricks Point?
Yeah, One Out Tricks Point Never.
Yeah.
Lots of people actually.
They have such a unique style. But yeah, like them, M83 is a huge one for me.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, honestly, just like everything from like 2010. I just love everything.
Oh my god,
like,
the early
2010s.
early 2010s is like my favorite
Oh yeah.
era for music, and I never thought I'd be
Absolutely.
someone who had a favorite era for music, but like I really liked the early 2010s.
Yeah, there's
it's good shit.
like it.
I think about doing an early 2010s dance party. I was thinking that'd be like a one-off.
That would be
party,
phenomenal.
like
You
a
could play
favorite place to, like,
Chillwave, Sea Punk, Witch House, Vaporwave,
so much stuff.
all that like future trap stuff, the cloud rap, the hypnagogic pop.
Yep. It's crazy, right? It's never ending. You know what I mean?
Mm.
There's so much good stuff. So it's my favorite time period for music, I think. Crazy.
I feel that.
But,
yeah, I agree.
So I just have to ask you. So this is really interesting. So you went from kind of playing guitar, knowing how to play guitar, to like you jumping into production, and that's like that's a very big thing to like jump into production for the first time, and it takes a minute to get it right. Like, how did you? Because this is something people ask me, and I never know exactly how to answer them. Is like they ask me like, well, how I produce music. I'm like, that's a really. Give people tips, right? You can tell them things.
Yeah.
But like production, like where to start is such a difficult thing, and it's very personal. It's a very personal process. So like, can I ask you, like, okay, you bought Ableton.
Yeah.
What was the first thing you had to learn how to do? What's the first thing you learned how to do? And you're like, okay, I'm getting
That's
there.
a stellar question.
Like inputting MIDI was probably
MIDI. Okay.
yeah, like MIDI information, and like at the time I was like using YouTube for samples, so like I would like use this like YouTube to MP3 converter, and that was like a challenge. And
Wait, the challenge was just using the YouTube to MP3
Jesus,
converter.
thank you, Robert Smith.
I mean, like,
I know we talked like,
I was just like,
what's
how-
the hardest part about producing music? Going on the website and putting it in the thing. And
I had no
download the
idea.
sample. Like, that's
I had no idea.
We're like able to this infinitely complicated program, and we're talking about the YouTube to MP3.
Yeah, that's a hell of a
right
jump
now.
there, buddy.
Wait, all right. So you got your samples. All right, fine. But like, I mean, let's get back to Ableton for a second. Like, that's like a beast. You know, you have to learn about like what compression means. Like, you have to learn about like
I
equalizing.
still don't know what that means.
None of us do, but some people pretend they do. Probably like Nathan or somebody knows what that means.
Right.
And, like, I think everyone else is just pretending. Most people are pretending.
Shout out in rail.
Threshold, obviously. You know, shut up. And it's like, shut up. Anyway, no, my point though is like, but that these are things you have to understand. Like, you know, you have Ableton, you download your sample, and then you're like, all right, I put this here. Like, and then what about like, yeah, and then like, so you have your stuff. Like, what was the first thing that you figured out to do? Was it doing drum beats? Like, because then you have to like think about frequencies. You have to think about how you program your drum beats. Are you going to put them on in the same, you know, drum kit, or are you going to separate your drum kits into different like, you know, tracks? And, you know, like what was
So
the
yeah,
biggest
like
struggle?
I mean, with the drum kits, I would like have one drum kit. Now I do like separate tracks because I know more about like EQ and all that stuff. But like when I started off, I like didn't know any of that stuff, so I like kind of just got really into like pads and kind of learned MIDI and just like kind of somehow put it together. Like I didn't even like understand automation at all for
that's
like a
whole
while.
other thing, all of a sudden, like doing breakpoints
I was like,
and shit. You know what I mean?
yeah, like I like stumbled onto that like randomly, and I was like, oh, this is like entirely something else. But I don't know. It's just like
sense.
I
and
kind of
returns,
just like,
you know what I mean? Like doing that
yeah,
stuff too.
yeah. I just like kind of like really became obsessed with it and would spend like 6 hours a day just like fucking with it. But like I never really like watched any tutorial videos or anything. I just kind of
You
figured
never watched
it
any
out.
tutorial videos?
I watched
Unreal.
a couple. I watched like a few, like eventually on like compression and EQs and
Like to know
stuff
what,
like that.
frequencies to like leave out of certain.
Yeah,
areas.
I mean, and yeah, like even like with Golden Hour, my first LP, there's like none of that. There's no EQs or like anything like that
I
on
had
it.
no idea, and here I am sending you the remix I made for you, being like, "You can master this, right? Yeah, I can master it."
Dude,
I thought like
it
you were,
just
like,
goes
I
to
thought you were like a
show, like,
sound engineer
literally,
guy.
you don't need to be a genius to make stuff that moves
I
people.
didn't master this remix. Like, you mind doing that for me? And you're like, yeah, of course. I'm like, what? He's not.
Yeah, I learned all that. I learned all that stuff. I like know some of it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been like this whole thing's just been like huge learning process. And
Was it really tough when you first like made your first track and like you hear like you can't hear where the frequencies are, like even learning how loud the bass should be, like
yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean?
yeah, it was difficult and it all really blended together. Yeah, and I just didn't understand why it just like it didn't like certain sounds didn't come through. I was like, why doesn't it sound like this? And like if I were to go back onto Golden Hour, like through the stems on that, there are like literally like so many tracks in that like don't even come through at all.
Wow. Yeah, it's a crazy thing learning to do this for the first time.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, and that's like nice that you just sort of stumbled. Like I remember when I was learning to produce, like one of the things that I would do is I would just listen to the tracks I really liked a lot by artists I really liked or want. Like I would listen to a lot of Neon Indian, or you know, I would listen to a lot of Wash. I listened to these artists that I liked. And I try and just really concentrate on hearing it. And then I would get into Ableton, and I try and make something, and then I listen to what I made, and I'd be like, not quite.
Yeah.
Like, let me go back and listen to that again. Like, if I do this, or I learn how to like, why does this thing sound like that? You know, the first time you learn about like what sidechain compression is, you're like, oh, of course.
Yeah, that was like one of the first things that I learned how to do. Actually,
First thing
It felt
everybody
so,
learns
like,
how to do. That's the first thing
is
everybody
it?
learns. Everybody,
Wild.
that's the first, and that's when you learn that, then you're like, I can produce music probably. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, I can make all these sounds duck when the bass comes, when the bass drum kicks. Once you learn that, like, that's like the first time that you're like, I can almost not sound like an amateur. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're like, once you learn how to do, like, I hear this thing happen on so many tracks, and now I can do it too. That's like everybody's first thing that they learn to do, and are like, okay, I think I can learn other things.
Yeah, I think
Hell
like
yeah.
the first thing that like I really learned was like I used like a really like simple like drum beat, just like the classic like house like chill wave beat.
Yeah.
And like everything I guess just kind of came together. I don't know like how it really did. I got really lucky. I've had a lot of people like are like, wow, it like takes a lot of people a long time to like find their sound.
Yeah, it does. That's what's crazy about talking to you right now.
And yeah, I just like I don't know. I think I was thinking about this earlier today, and I
Thank you,
can't.
Casper
I don't
Tom.
really have an explanation for it. Really, I think it's just like a product of like listening to like Washed Out and M83 only for like 8 years. You know, it's just like, okay, this sounds right, so I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like music, this sort of, especially with production, like you almost kind of just divine it. Like I can't tell you. How I
You
produce all
divine
my
it.
stuff
I like
most of the
that.
time. Well, I have no idea. Like sometimes, like by the end of the track, I'm like, I have no idea what I've done. I can't, and I could never repeat
Yeah.
it if you ask me to.
Wow.
Same.
I have no idea. I have no idea how any song I've ever made has gotten made, and you know, it's insane.
Kind of reminds me of how like 18 Karat Affair described he would like do one take and that was it. Like it was lost
He
forever.
has an he has an interesting process.
Yeah.
It's an interesting process for what he does. Wow. All right.
We
wow,
are
that's really
awash with questions, if
Go
I may
ask some
get one or
questions,
two
yeah,
out of the
please
way.
go.
We
Yeah,
want
go
to
for it.
harken back to I Am King Quartz's question. What genre initially caught your ears and made you want to become a musician?
Chillwave for sure. Or like actually I don't know if it's chillwave. I think the first artist that I came across, it's this guy named Baths. think
I love
he's, like,
Baths!
LA.
We all love Baths.
I love Baths.
Oh man, like have you guys seen that Boiler Room set that he did?
No,
Like,
but I've seen him
forever
live
ago?
twice.
It's
and he fucks.
insane. He has like a Boiler Room set in like 2010 eras, and like it's insane. And he's like so wild and like into it. And like I watched that video like
Bro,
so many times. Like
watching
back to
him
back. I'm like,
actually
I
sing-
want.
Watching him
Yeah.
like sing like "You're My Excuse to Travel" live is extremely poignant. Like he like that's him. Well, you guys know like that's his voice
Yeah.
and it's real and like very poignant music.
Yeah, it was that for me. It was just seeing that and like hearing him explain like on his interviews like how he like did things and like I don't know, I kind of like fell in love with that like the idea of music production, but like at the time like it seemed like such a like scary thing. Like I could never get into this. It seems so
Right.
involved, you know. So
Sounds like what I tell myself all the time.
yeah.
You just have to do it.
Yeah,
Right. You just
yeah, I
have to
learned
divine it.
that eventually.
That's an
And
excellent
it just
answer.
and it just comes down to how much you really want to do it. You know, do
Yeah.
you want to do this? Like, is this a thing that you're going to want to do? And
Yeah.
just-
I think it took being literally stuck inside and have nothing else to do to really get into it.
Did you get your start during the coronavirus lockdown?
Yeah.
That's what he was saying. Yeah, that's what he got. That's why when he said that to me, I'm like, wait, that wasn't long ago. That's like when he said that. I was during the coronavirus pandemic. Most people are like, that's when I started. He like mentioned that, and that's what made me like pause and be like, whoa, because I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
I'm like, you just started doing this, like, and that album was not that long after. You know,
Well, like I mean, I know the Patchnotes project
crazy.
hasn't been around for long,
Well,
but I didn't know
yeah.
like
Yeah.
that was your first time making music ever.
Exactly. So
Like,
that's
that's
what
cool.
like that's what made me. That's when I started going to like, whoa. Let's back this up for a minute here.
Yeah.
And
So,
that's really good for people to hear that too, so people can understand that it doesn't matter when you start. You just have to start, and you
Yeah.
can. If you have a bit of a vision going on inside you, you can translate that. You know,
Yeah.
but you have to be willing to keep fucking around on this intensely complicated, fucking
Right.
program.
I do have one other body of work that will never see the light of day from when I really first
Damn.
started. It's
Oh,
like a
it's an
private.
electro swing cop. It's electro
Even-
swing.
it's an
I
electro
don't know what
remix
that is.
compilation.
What
He
is
actually-
that?
Electro swing
It's
is
a-
like swing music with like dance beats to it.
It's a chiptune electro swing cover project.
I don't like that.
I don't like that.
He goes, I don't like that.
You're banned.
Strip Silence has a lovely question. Wants to know if you have any favorite rituals to do before or during making music.
Oh. Wow. I don't know.
Smoking weed.
I don't smoke weed. It makes me really paranoid. I
can't
wish I
do it.
did.
I actually don't.
But I don't
either.
really. I don't know if
Believe
I
it or
have
not.
any rituals. I mean, like, yeah, I don't think I really
Maybe
do. I
drink,
just
like, a
kind of
coffee
like.
or something like that.
I don't drink coffee either.
Drink coffee
Jesus.
either.
Wow,
I
the
don't
man
know.
of
I don't-
few vices.
I don't think I
What's
really
your
do.
vice?
It's
Do you have any
random.
vices? Do you have any vices, Kyle?
Uh,
maybe like chocolate too much.
I love sugar.
Ah,
a lot.
There it is.
I love
So
sugar.
There it is. There's no caffeine, but there's lots of sugar.
There's a lot of sugar. Yeah, there's
You have
not really
favorite, You have a favorite sweet?
I had tiramisu the other day. It was pretty good.
Nice.
I love tiramisu. Or like candy. Or like sometimes I'll like down a whole pint of ice cream and feel like shit
Oh
immediately
my
after.
God.
Oh, bro.
Oh wow.
I
But
just
that's
went to
not-
the
that's-
Museum of Ice Cream the other day, and you're telling me.
I don't do that very often anymore. It's like catching up to me.
Oh yeah. Oh. You're getting older.
I don't know. My body's telling me that I am.
Well, you'll live longer for it.
Don't listen to that guy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Bodies.
Chris, I'll hang back and let you get another two or
Another
three.
question?
In. Yeah, please.
Okay, so I already know what kind of music you're listening to. So you've always been very moved, very interested in music, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you were a kid, what was the first thing you heard that really kind of made you fall in love with the idea of exploring music and it connecting to you?
I think the first album I had ever bought with some money that I obtained somehow. I'm not sure how.
What?
I was very
Yeah, I
young.
know. Yeah, sometimes it's the first day.
Was The Killer's Hot Fuss.
That album fucks.
Oh,
Love that
that's
album.
Not bad place. Particularly for a very popular album.
Yeah,
that'll set a tone.
That and Block Party Silent Alarm. Obsessed with both of those. Like I think I got into guitar because of like Block Party for sure. Like I was like, I gotta get a Telecaster.
Yeah, it was fun.
And like do this indie rock thing.
It was fun, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the Killers really tore it up. I was not a huge Block Party fan, but definitely loved Hot Fuss.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Block Party. I don't like much of their new stuff, but
it's tough.
Like from like Silent Alarm until like I'm gonna go ahead and say like Intimacy is pretty good. Everything after but
it's really tough to be Block Party and like to be known for like bringing this big energy to that like 2000s era music, right? And almost being like a poster boy for it. You know what I mean? And then to like be like, well, what do we do now? Like a lot of bands fall apart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of those bands from that time period, like it's hard because they're just like, where do we go next? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I always think about I think of the Rapture pretty often and like how they had like come out with like two of these like phenomenal albums, and then it's just like I don't know what to do now, and like artists started within the band and then like
totally. And then like Block Party like did fall apart for sure.
Yeah,
like
right.
what is it, like 2 of the original members are in it now, I think.
I don't even know.
Yeah. It's like 2. It's like it's Kelly, who is the singer, and then his guitarist Russell, and then everyone else left, and now it's like I don't even know who it is now, but yeah, it fell apart for sure.
Rest in peace, Block Party.
R.I.P.
Brick Mason Music. What is the longest it has taken you to complete an album?
Endless Surrender took me roughly like 8 months. And
So longer than Golden Hour.
Golden Hour took me 3 months.
I got you.
But I was also with Golden Hour, I was more I would like get off of work and spend 6 hours a day on it.
Oh wow, you did
for
the
like
hyper
3
focus
months
thing.
straight. And I think the reason why Endless Surrender took me so long is because I really just wanted to take my time with it, because I had like the experience of like making something quicker. So I like, yeah, I just took more time with it. I didn't rush it.
Nice.
I learned more. I was like learning more about music production too, like EQ and I mean all of those things, like drum buses and just a bunch of other techniques.
What's the best thing? What's the most interesting? What was the thing that you learned during music production that made you be like, that's great. Now I can do a lot of other things. It's the thing I've been thinking about.
I mean, definitely like automation, but like automation, like I like envelopes, being able to like mess with like certain things within a synth, like the attack and release, and
yeah, because that's the other
and like
thing
the res and all that stuff.
Did you have a synthesizer that you practiced on to like learn? Or did
I
you
had
start
a micro Korg.
But micro Korg.
I don't have it.
I had that too.
Yeah, I don't have it anymore. I got rid of it because I recently, my good friend Luxury Noise was talking about, shout out Luxury Noise, was talking about how much he loved the Push 2, so I like completely switched over that, and I'm so happy. It's such a nice device.
Luxury Noise has been instrumental in running the Coast to Coast Collective as well.
Yeah.
And those Pacific, I think they both had different names. It was like Pacific Winter, Pacific Summer.
Pacific Summer, our first one was, what the hell was it called? I can't even remember.
There's been
now.
3, right?
There's 3. There was the first one that Chillwave Kittens did. Shout out Chillwave Kittens.
Right. Soft Replica saying
Wave and Chill. Wave and Chill
nice.
was the one, and then we did Pacific Summer, and then the most recent one we did was Pacific Winter, because we decided, well, Chillwave Kittens kind of hosted the first one, and then Alex from Pacific Plaza agreed to host it, so we've been kind of going with like the Pacific theme. So
right, it's been a pretty tight collective and a pretty tight sound, and very well produced and put together, in my opinion. And there was actually a question in chat. Celadon Dream _sweet. What were your first thoughts when you first heard everyone's remixes of Golden Hour?
Oh man, it was perfect. Honestly, like it came. I mean, it sounded like it should, like it sounded like a complete body of work, and like it was. I don't know. It kind of blew me away, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we were all really happy with it. I remember us like all talking about it in the Discord, like how like great it sounded. For sure. Yeah, I was super stoked with how it came out.
I'm quite partial to that device operator rerun.
That device
of
operator.
Sun.
Yeah.
Of course, I think that was used for the promo. And I totally understand why, because it hits.
Yeah. Yeah, they were all really great, and yeah, I am super stoked that everyone contributed to it, and it just came out awesome.
If any of y'all, Luxury Noise device operator, if you guys want to drop some links to some of the comps,
I'm on one of those comps.
Yeah, you are, and
Yeah,
I've
you
participated in I think 2 of the live stream events. Drop some links, guys. Spotify, Bandcamp, whatever. One more question. Soft Replica. It's fascinating that you've dived into music production so recently, but he's wondering if you have audio-visual skills that go back farther than that. He says that your audio-visual style is super refined.
Like my video editing. I learned how to do that at the same time as I learned how to produce music.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, so I had like no video editing skills whatsoever. And I decided to get this program called Filmora, which is like a super like
that's what
basic.
I have that too.
Yeah, it's like super easy to use.
That's what I use
and
for my visuals for the live streams.
yeah, and yeah, I just like learned how to do that at the same time. Like I remember like when I first started, I basically like would make like a 30-second track and then like make like I was started with like 80s commercials and kind of edited those and like would throw them on Instagram. But yeah, like yeah, I'm pretty new at visual stuff for sure. I'm still like learning very much so. I recently got like a little bit more of a complicated program. It's still Filmora, but it's Filmora Pro, so there's like some automation and stuff in there. But
You had us all fooled. You're killing it. We are caught up on questions, Chris. Fire away.
Okay. All right. So let's see. So at what point? At what point did you feel like you were satisfied with your music, with production? You would say, "I'm going to approach somebody to see if they'll release it." Like how did that happen?
Well, I approached Alex from Pacific Plaza because we were in the Chillwave Kittens server.
I see.
And like I knew of him.
Yeah.
I knew he had a label.
He's great. Yeah.
And
Excellent.
I wasn't sure if what I had was like good at all, so I was like kind of skeptical to do it, but I kind of decided at a certain point to just like kind of try to get past the point of being self-conscious about something and just like throwing it out there. So I just like I think I finished Golden Hour, and then I just like kind of like gave it to him, I believe, and he liked it, so he wanted to put it out on the label. I think that's how it happened.
A1 label for sure.
Yeah, it's been really great working with Alex. He's incredible.
He's an incredible person.
Yeah.
Great time to
Yeah,
remind
no
everybody
complaints.
you can head over to their Bandcamp and get both of Patchnotes albums for the price of one. Hell of a deal.
Yeah.
Thanks for the link, Lux. Some kind of gangster would like to know if you are more of a candle or an incense person.
Oh man, I go back and forth. So like, a candle is definitely designated for when I'm taking a bath. I always have a candle.
You take
when I'm
baths?
God,
Yeah,
I miss
love
having a
baths.
bathtub.
I take a bath. I took a bath before this.
Is
Fuck
that's
yeah,
a ritual you
baths.
have? Maybe that's a ritual.
Maybe that is the ritual.
That's the ritual.
Maybe I take a bath like every day. There's when I
fucking
have a
love
candle.
baths. But do you
They're
like
so
do you like
great.
take the quick bath or do you like chill and like soak?
It really depends like how hard my day was.
Oh my
but
god.
It
Suffer
goes
up-
back and forth.
Which
goes
is
back and
better,
forth.
baths lowercase or baths uppercase? That's good.
But if I'm outside of the bath, I'm an incense man, for
Gotcha.
sure. I love like Nag Champa and I like all of them. So I guess I could say that I'm both. I guess.
We've got a house divided over here. I'm a candle guy, and Lux is an incense person.
I'm a
Incense
candle guy.
girl.
I'm a candle person.
I like my my latte, coffee, candle, whatever. Ice cream cookie candle. King Quartz, has Patchnotes ever had a charcuterie in the
saw that.
bathtub?
That's why I'm laughing. You know, like that doesn't sound like a bad idea. I haven't had the luxury of that, but I would like to do that now.
Have you ever had since you bathe instead of showering, have you ever had a bathtub beer?
Yeah, I had one earlier.
Good.
That's great.
Best.
Good.
Yeah. shower beers. Can't.
I
beat
have
'em.
shower beers sometimes too.
I haven't had a bath in years.
Baths
You
are
should try it.
fire,
It's
dude.
incredible.
Like,
Shower
especially if you're
every day.
hungover. I don't know if you get hungover, but you know, if you do, baths are great for that.
Yeah,
Like,
I
if you
just
ever feel
started taking
sick, you
baths
know.
again like a few months ago, since I was like a kid probably.
Right.
Wow.
And it's
So you're
like-
it's really good, huh?
It's great because like it helps your mental health. Is all I can say. It's just nice to like sit in a nice pool of water, nice warm pool of water, and just chill out.
Fascinating.
Yeah, I definitely recommend a bath.
I co-sign that. I ship that 1000%. There is not a bathtub at the house where I live, and I'm still mad about it.
I have a clawfoot bathtub that I have about for like 2 more weeks, and then I'm moving into a space that doesn't have a clawfoot bathtub.
Oh, you're moving in
so
2 weeks?
Yeah, I mean, is it 2
Damn.
weeks? It's something like that. But so I'm just like
Best of
trying to
luck.
get as much as I can out of it
Yeah.
right now.
Before we move on to another topic, since everybody just loves this, Celadon Dream Suite says, "What are your top
Your
tracks
top
to listen
tracks
to in the
listen
bath?"
to in the bath.
I usually don't listen to music in the bath.
What?
Like I listen to like
I'm kind of
I-
surprised.
I
Yeah, me
watch
too.
like I watch
You watch stuff?
TikTok.
Oh,
I
okay.
watch TikTok. I'm obsessed with TikTok, unfortunately. Or I like watch unhinged leftist political
King
commentary.
Court's bath wave.
Bath wave.
But not a lot of music in the bath. Maybe I should try
Oh,
that
man.
out.
I mean, that's what I would do. I would just fire up a Bluetooth speaker and, drink like an energy drink or, some booze or
in
something.
the bath?
Dude, if
You
I
get
was
energy
hungover.
drink in the bath? Wait a second.
Okay, fellas.
Energy in the bath?
If
That
you're
feels like
hungover,
in the
that
bath?
feels so antithetical.
all right, you would think so. But if you're like, you just got up, you need
Chill
to
out in the
ease into your
bathtub,
day,
do a
you
bunch
feel
of
like
lines of Coke,
ass and a half.
And just like,
Do a couple
just
lines
like
of Coke
go to
and
town
take a
on a
bath.
handful of Adderall.
Yeah.
I actually do all my production in the bath.
Just like that's great. That's what really calms me down.
They want us to get to the either or question that everybody
Okay, what's the
loves.
either or?
But well, do you
Oh
want to
yeah,
get?
that's a good question. No, I know which one you're gonna ask. That's a good question for him actually. So you're right.
No, you don't. We want to know if Kyle likes Ride or Lush better.
Oh, you really threw me a curve on that one.
You know,
Soft Republica did it.
Ryder Lush.
Ride versus Lush.
I'm going to tell you something that might be shocking, but I'm not familiar with either.
Really?
Yeah, not really.
Check out Lush.
I've actually I've heard of Lush a little bit, but I haven't really gotten into it. I'll check it out.
So then I guess you could just. What's the other one? The
Oh,
normal-
dude. I already know the answer. We don't have to ask it.
Oh, we don't.
You should.
It's MTV.
Well, I will. Do you prefer My Bloody Valentine or do you prefer Slow Dive?
My Bloody Valentine. I'm just kidding. It's Slow Dive.
Whoa.
Slow Dive.
Whoa,
100%.
whoa.
Oh.
Okay.
That's
So
my hot take.
defend
I guess.
your-
I swear, like
So
the-
there's no wrong answer.
the first time I even remember saying that
Mhm.
I don't even remember how the conversation went, but it wasn't either or. I just was I like Slow Dive, and then they're like, but you don't like My Bloody Valentine. I'm like, not really saying that, but I just kind of
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm way more familiar with Slow Dive. I just really haven't got into My Bloody Valentine yet.
So I like them both. I really do. I think Loveless and Souvlaki are both 10 out of 10 unskippable
Yeah.
albums. I really do. I'll just peel a layer back real quick. I just think that Slow Dive is so damn sad sounding.
It is.
And
That's
it
why
hits
I like
me
it.
to
I
my
think.
core. Yeah.
Yeah.
My Bloody
I like
Valentine
really
is sad
sad
sounding
shit.
too. Yeah, me too, man. I don't know why. You ever wondered why?
It's because life is sad
Yeah.
sometimes.
Do you listen to sad music when you're already sad?
Yeah, but I also
Yeah.
listen to it when I'm really happy.
Yeah, same.
So it's just kind of something. I like really sad music, I guess.
Do Damn, somebody's in here ranking all of them. Swerve Driver, better than Ride, better than My Bloody Valentine, better than Slow Dive, better than Curve, better than Lush.
Oh yeah, I guess this would probably be a good time, but I put together a short-ish playlist of shoegaze
Yes.
stuff, and I'll link that in the chat. Spotify playlist for y'all right there.
Hell yeah. Not many people know that shoegaze was my absolute favorite music of all time before I heard chillwave. In fact, Toro y Moi's Causer of This was sold to me as a new spin on shoegaze.
Toro y Moi?
Yeah, which it absolutely was not, but like
You're
that's
not, but it's interesting.
yeah.
But that's what got you into that. That led to another thing.
Would you guys consider Toro y Moi chillwave?
I would.
Yeah,
At least
because
Causers of This,
the,
definitely.
Because it's from the time period. It's easy to group the.
I don't think it is.
Really?
I don't like Toro y Moi.
You don't like Toro y Moi?
Do you like
No,
Small Black?
You don't like the
I
first
love
album?
Small Black.
You don't like the first album by Toro y Moi?
I don't like any of it. I've tried to get into it.
The song Low Shoulders? It's a good one.
Quite honestly, I loved
I don't
Causers
like
of
it.
This and then didn't really like anything else after that.
No.
But that was just me, you know. He's arguably the most successful person. I mean, do you
Really?
guys think there's
I
anyone
guess
that's...
so, but he's definitely the most
Toro y Moi
prolific.
went pretty damn far.
In that scene, yeah, for
Definitely the most
sure.
prolific.
For sure, 100%.
Well, we've got the either-or question out of the way. Chris, you got any other fun biographical ones before I start going nuts?
It's been an hour. Let's do some other questions. I'll ask you.
I'm going to need some help with some more questions, chat. While we wait on you guys to come
Questions,
through,
y'all.
Is it gonna be one of those?
I'm going to go nuts. All right?
Please.
So I would like to know, since you're a longtime music fan and you've recently started entering into the music scene, what do you think the biggest problem with music right now is?
Probably, I mean, the biggest problem with music right now that like the entire industry is facing.
Sure.
Probably like the fact that like it's becoming more and more difficult for people to really make a living off of it. For sure, especially with like touring. Touring seems like it's not really a great thing. I mean, like not a great thing, but like something that's not really plausible for a lot of people anymore. That's a huge problem.
You are absolutely right. What
Yeah.
sort of successful band was it that literally just said like we can't afford to tour anymore?
It was.
Chris,
I
do you
forgot.
remember who
It's
it
been
was?
a few. There's been a few people that like are like really big, and they're just like, we can't do it.
Yeah.
Like it's just not.
It was
viable
Animal
to do
Collective.
this.
Thank you. Some kind
Was
of
it Animal
gangster.
Collective?
Animal Collective.
Yeah,
They
that's
just had
crazy.
to be
Like Animal Collective can't afford to like tour. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, no, that's a damn good question. I mean, that's a damn good answer. I mean to say, until people are being paid like a flourishing wage, and especially because you know damn well, like not to like shit on popular artists because they're popular for a reason, but they're
Right.
commanding these like enormous salaries.
Yeah.
Just like it's just exponentially more money than like I don't know if you've seen what they're paying people that play South by Southwest, but it's hilarious.
It's not great.
Hilarious as in like hilariously
Not great.
shitty.
What was that? What was that like union, like that music union that's like kind of been like on
I feel like I've heard a little bit about that, but don't know enough.
I forgot. But
Yeah.
I learned about like the South by Southwest thing from them.
I can't believe they were
and was
paying
kind of
DJs like
surprised.
$100.
Yeah, I mean it was like what it was like. I like for some people it was like a free pass to get in for like international artists or something.
Yeah,
I can't
yeah,
remember
that was
exactly what it was, but that's
Yeah.
just like who can do that?
Yeah, and for such a
Who can do that?
ginormous like and successful, I mean I don't know where all that money's going, but like come on, you can't tell me that the money is not there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's just like how it is in this country.
Dreaming Diary. What is your biggest challenge making music, Kyle?
My biggest challenge. Probably. What's the term called? Imposter syndrome.
Oh,
is probably a really big one for me. I get really self-conscious, especially about like art. So, it's not as big of an issue anymore because I've been working on just like getting through it, but a lot of imposter syndrome for sure. Yeah, just get down on myself, think it's not good enough or whatever. And
do you find yourself being like really hypercritical of your art as well?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like things, and like I've like really just like talked myself through it. It's like the things that you're getting upset about are like things that people won't even notice.
Yeah, no
sure.
shit, right?
Yeah.
I guess like there is a point where you can get too into the details.
Yeah.
Too buried in the details, and it's like,
or it's even that where you just get like you get so sucked into like the smallest of things, and then you just like find yourself like going through like a loop of like worrying about that, like the small things, like
getting hung up on those little details.
Yeah.
I always tell myself, I'm not an artist. Well, I don't produce music, but like I always allow myself like a couple of mistakes per amount of time for like a recorded DJ set, because obviously if you're gonna play it live, you're gonna make a mistake at some point.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
right, Chris. Like at some point, you're gonna hit the backspin by accident, or like
I make a mistake several times every time I DJ.
Yeah, that's another huge thing
every
for
time.
me
Every time.
now,
Always
especially.
I do something wrong every time.
Yeah, like right now, like
I'm not a very good DJ. Like I'm not very good DJ. Like I'm pretty good. I'm okay, but
get out of here with that.
Get by, but I don't practice. I don't do this, so I fuck up every time.
Yeah, I don't know. That's like another thing. Like right now is like translating this to a live environment. Like at first I wanted to do things on like an SP404 because that's like the vaporwave thing, and that's like I just found that to be absolutely impossible. And then I was like, all right, I'm gonna DJ, and then I just didn't like it. So now I'm like onto something else.
Back to square one.
So now I'm just doing like trying to figure things out on the Push 2 with like stems and stuff, and I think I'm like really close to like something that I personally would like to do, but that's been I would say that's definitely been the most challenging thing, is just like getting the live aspect to like a point where I would like it to be, I suppose.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering about that.
Yeah,
it seems like that's one of the biggest jumps for a lot of artists is you master the studio part, and then it's like, all right, now I've got to
it's really hard
figure out how to reproduce this live.
It's really hard.
I will be right back, fellers.
What's happening? What's Isaac leaving for a minute? All right, what beer are you drinking there?
Singha.
Is that your beer of choice? Is that what you go for? Are you a beer guy and you have different types of beers that you like, or is this the one you go to?
So I used to work at a Thai restaurant. I'm a cook.
You're a cook at a Thai restaurant?
Yeah, I used to be. I used to work at this
place.
Did
you go to culinary school?
No, I didn't.
So how did you become a cook?
I don't really know. It just kind of happened.
It just kind of happened?
Yeah, like
I don't understand how it just kind of. Did you pursue a job in cooking?
Yeah, basically, like because I had no other options.
No other options?
I had no other options. I was like working.
Cooking.
Yeah, I was like working in a semi-truck trailer factory.
Fascinating.
And I was making semi-trailers, and
oh my gosh,
I couldn't do it anymore, so I like just happened to find a cooking job, and then just like kind of really went into it, I guess.
Wow. What? So did you like, can I have a job cooking food for you? I'm not really, this isn't what I trained for.
Basically.
Who let you do that?
Some guy in Illinois.
Some guy in Illinois?
Some guy in Illinois.
You just like, yeah, sure, you could be in charge of my place.
Yeah, basically.
Well, I don't understand. So then you had to just learn how to cook?
Yeah.
What? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, you had to learn how flavors work?
I guess. It took a long time. I sucked at it for a while.
Did you learn under somebody? Did you watch someone else do it?
I just like kind of.
What?
I mean, I guess I kind of watched someone do it, but I just like did it, and here I am.
Wow.
So, anyways, the answer to the question is I went to the. I had a date the other day, and I cooked my date. Ooh, it was good. A good date.
Nice. That's exciting.
Great.
Nice.
Yeah. And I decided to cook Thai food, and this Thai beer goes really well.
Oh yeah, that's good stuff.
With Thai food, so
I feel like I've had that before.
I have some leftover ones.
Did you initially work for a Thai place, or you just learned to do that recently?
I used to work at like this place in Illinois that was like kind of like a bistro.
Wow.
And then I worked at a couple of those, and then I moved here, and one of my friends back home suggested I work for this place called Pok Pok, which is like kind of like, he's the guy that, it's RIP, it's not here anymore, but the guy that ran it was like a celebrity chef. And like people back in Illinois knew of him, so I was like, all right, I guess I'll try to do that, and I got in there and like was super into it. I really love Thai food.
Thai food is phenomenal. Yeah. Do you have a favorite dish? Actually, yeah. What do you recommend? I love Thai food, but
I don't think I've had enough Thai food. I would like to know the answer.
Is there a dish that I don't order enough that people should be ordering? I should be eating.
Papaya salad's like one of my favorites.
Papaya salad.
Oh, it's so good. Or like any kind of larb, which is like a minced meat situation. Khao soy is really great. Like any curry. There's also some like super specific things that I learned from this place. Like the guy that runs this restaurant like went to Thailand and like found a bunch of restaurants on the side of the highway that had like dirt floors, and learned specific dishes from these restaurants and then brought it back here.
One of my best
that's how you know that shit is good.
One of my best friends owns a Thai restaurant. Yeah.
Really? Oh, that's radical.
That's so funny.
Alex went to Pok Pok, which is
unreal.
Alex from Pacific Plaza, yeah. Yeah, I worked for Pok Pok for a few years, and it was crazy. It was insane.
That's great. I bet it was, man. That's like, that cook life is a crazy life.
Oh yeah,
it was like 60-hour weeks.
All the time,
Fuck
right?
that.
You hear about that?
Wild.
That's stuff.
I used to work like on Saturday and then Sunday. I'd work 16-hour days.
Jesus, bro.
Years.
Hey man, that's the other thing too. You know what? A lot of cooks I meet are like, they're kind of crazy too. They like live some crazy lives, man. You're pretty
they really
calm for a cook. Like.
Yeah. No shit. King Quartz wants to know if you're still a cook.
I am. I work at a nonprofit now, as I guess a cook. But we make soup, and we have like a program there where we basically are, I guess like the term that this nonprofit uses is a workforce rehabilitation. There you go.
I got you.
So we basically are like helping out folks that are in risk of experiencing houselessness, and like kind of giving them tools to get jobs in the restaurant industry here in Portland.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm with those dudes doing that.
Very
now.
cool.
So it's cooking, but it's also like a lot of other stuff. But yeah, technically, yeah.
Let him cook. Celadon Dream Suite. What are your musical guilty pleasures? Do you even believe that you can have a musical guilty pleasure?
My musical guilty pleasure. From watching TikTok, I can say there's one song from Taylor Swift that I like, but I couldn't tell you what song it is. And then there's like one song from Justin Bieber that's kind of catchy to me, but I couldn't tell you what that is. Other than
Hey,
that,
they know how to do it
I
in
don't
the pop
know.
music world.
They really do.
They really do, don't they?
They really do.
They know how to create like an arresting experience. I myself was quite partial to that Justin Bieber album that dropped that Diplo produced.
Was that a
I mean,
thing? Diplo produced a
I'm pretty
Justin
sure
Bieber
Diplo
album?
produced most of it. I can't remember what the name
That's
of the album
wild.
was. It was in the middle of the 2010s. And I liked it. Fuck it.
Wow. No idea.
Okay, I would like for you to tell me why you think in the pop music world some acts, or just in the whole music world, right? Like, why are some acts popular and some acts just don't make it? Like in any scene.
In the like popular music
In
world?
any scene, actually.
In
Let me
any
amend that
scene?
question. But speaking of pop music, like, why do we have some Taylor Swifts and some Justin Biebers, and then we have a whole lot of little guys that are just as, if not more skilled, and just don't make it?
It's money, right? It's got to be. It's
be.
got to be money.
Twitter check
like
marks.
how much money people have to spend on PR. I think, right?
Yeah, I think
You
so.
Yeah.
think? Like
Yeah,
I've had people like reach out to me, like PR people, and they're like, we'd love to promote your music, and
Wild.
and I'm like, okay, like how much do you want? And they're like, we want $1,000 per track for a month, and I'm like, I can't afford that.
Yeah.
Like that's ridiculous. So I think that's like a big part of it is like how much money you really have to spend on it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think that's correct. I think that's
Yeah.
astute. And yeah, that is the big separator at the end.
Yeah,
Of the day.
yeah. Well, there's really no way to simplify it further. It's absolutely money. Capital.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Some kind of gangster wants to know, are you Paul Rudd or are you Keanu Reeves?
What question is that? Probably Keanu Reeves because like I was so into The Matrix when I was a kid. I would always watch that with my dad. The Matrix.
Fire movie.
Fire movie. I don't really like the new one too much.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
kind
And
of a
I
weird
love
vibe.
the Wachowski sisters, but
It's kind of a weird vibe. It doesn't
Yeah.
have the same vibe as the old ones.
that's kind of what I heard.
Yeah.
Always
But I really
disappointing.
like Paul. I really like Paul Rudd in my what is it called? My Idiot Brother.
Yeah.
Not
Oh,
seen
that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one people don't think about enough too. I think.
Yeah. And what was he in? Like I Love You, Man, or
He
something
was.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly Keanu Reeves though. And then I like recently watched John Wick, and those movies are like
I've never seen them.
they are like so the
I hear they're
story
great.
the story like
Yeah,
at first
same.
really sucks. And then like it's like an action flick, and then it gets really interesting. But I mean, like those movies are like to watch like for like the action and like watching this dude like just literally like headshot every single person and he comes into contact with.
That's the point, right? I mean,
Yeah,
you don't
like
watch
he makes a point
blood
of like
sport for the storyline.
shooting them in the torso like 5 times and then like also shooting them in the head. It's ridiculous.
Time and a place.
You have a favorite film?
From Keanu Reeves or
Okay, let's do that one first.
okay.
I want to know the answer to both as well.
I want to know the answer to both. It's a tough
Probably. Damn. Probably the original Matrix
All right.
from
Phenomenal.
Keanu Reeves. And then my favorite movie of all time
Yes.
is Shaun of the Dead.
Oh, that's great.
Nice.
Yeah, Shaun of the Dead's my favorite of all time. But I love all that stuff from Edgar Wright.
Yeah,
All that stuff's really
fun.
great.
I'm
I don't know if I liked Last Night in Soho very much, but
I didn't see that. That's been a little bit divisive. That film, it seems like.
yeah, it's,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of it
People
was
kind
like
of
his
forgot about
attempt-
that one.
Yeah, it was like his attempt
came
at
out,
like
too.
horror. Yeah, it was his
Oh.
first attempt at horror, and I think it might have like kind of missed, unfortunately.
Because there was the other one where they were like both cops. What was that one called?
Hot Fuzz.
Yeah, thank you.
That's great.
Hot Fuzz
That
is
one was
so
pretty
good.
funny. Yeah.
That's great.
Up, Pacific Plaza would like to know what your top 5 broken social scene songs are.
Oh God, I'm looking right now.
Are you as big of a fan as I am?
I love Broken Social Scene. I have
Me too.
I have a signed poster from them in my kitchen.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
When did you?
And I have
Really?
Yeah, I saw them in
I'm-
I saw them 5 years ago or something.
Nice.
And I also have 2 copies of You Forgot It in People on vinyl, and one of them's open, and then the other one I'm not gonna open until I'm much older, so I can
That's
listen to
great.
it brand new. My top 5 in no particular order.
Oh, you got to rank them. Come on.
I can't do that.
I fucking love
Can't
Broken
do
Social
that.
Scene.
That's the problem.
That's the
I
problem.
can't, that's a huge ask. Anthems for a 17-year-old girl.
Oh yeah, that's great.
That's a great one.
About me.
Right.
Yeah. Pacific Theme.
It's a good one.
Lover Spit. I could say my favorite.
Okay.
For sure is Looks Just Like the Sun.
That song's beautiful.
So
singable.
And then how many do I have left?
One more.
One more. Major label debut.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Now, stop me if I'm wrong. Are those not all on You Forgot It in People?
No, major label debut.
Is that on the
their
self-titled?
Self-titled, yeah.
So I got to see them during the self-titled tour in
That's crazy.
2009, 2008.
Yeah.
And it was fucking awesome. They played at Stubbs outside in Austin, and it's one of the best shows I have ever been to.
Yeah, I've seen them, I think, once. Or maybe
They play
twice.
for a really
They're
long
great.
time, and there's just
Yeah.
such good energy and great vibes. They are clearly thoroughly enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I love
I
it.
gotta say, man, sorry, I don't mean to talk over you because I love
Oh, you
Broken
can.
Social Scene and had no idea you were a huge fan.
Oh, I love
but
them.
The self-titled, and I get a lot of shit for this, but the self-titled album is my favorite,
Mhm.
and I really, really love Super Connected.
That one's a good one, too.
Yeah.
I like
and,
all their stuff, really.
Yeah, dude.
Honestly. And I love, all the stuff that's,
Cause Equals
connected to
Time
it,
is probably my favorite one on You Forgot It in. I think that's on You Forgot It in People, isn't it?
Cause Equals Time. Let
I
me
may be
see here.
misremembering.
I think. Yeah, it is. It is on there. On You Forgot It in People. Yeah, and I like all their all the things that have come from it too, Feist and Brendan Canning
Yeah.
and the Most Serene Republic.
All the what was that
Metric
record?
came from
Arts
that,
and
I
Crafts
think.
Records.
Yeah, Arts and Crafts, all
Yeah.
that stuff is super solid.
That is a super group
Super
done
solid.
perfectly.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess they're
yeah.
technically not a super group because they were the birther of all those things. They were the precursor, but that's how you do a 12-member band right.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man. They're so good.
Great question, Pacific Plaza. Oh wow, I didn't know that Reverie Sound Review was an offshoot. Wow, I knew Do Make Say Think was, or not an offshoot, but Charles Spearin was in both bands. Did you ever get into Do Make Say Think or Reverie Sound Review? Not so much. Do Make Say Think was more like the jazzy kind of post rock,
Okay.
like Tortoise meets, I don't know, Explosions in the Sky, kind of, but
Okay.
jazzy.
Can't say I'm familiar. I'll check it out.
Post rock was I don't know. I got a few years on you. Post rock was
I like post rock.
yeah.
I like Explosions in the Sky. I can't really think of any other ones though. I think there's a band called Caspian or something.
Yeah,
that's-
Caspian is great. Caspian's kind of a deep cut. Nice.
Yeah. See here. This Will Destroy You.
This Will Destroy You is fire.
God is an Astronaut.
Yep, Godspeed You Black Hipper. God is an Astronaut. That's another deep cut. Okay. You are a post rock fan. You're not fucking around.
I like it. There's one that's
What about Mogwai? Do you fuck with Mogwai?
Yeah, I like Mogwai.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's like a few other ones, but I haven't listened to post rock in a while. To be honest.
Yeah.
What do you listen to these days?
I have been getting super into like house music for the first time. Like Fred Again, I love Fred Again a lot, and I like a lot of like UK dance. Like there's this guy called Nachi who is like somehow flown under the radar, but they're amazing. At Apollo, Quartet.
Very cool.
Just like more dancey stuff recently.
So we were having a conversation before the show about how big of a Tycho fan you are.
Yeah.
And I mentioned Lone, and you said you'd never heard Lone. So if you're getting into housey music, I'm going to float you a track or two that I really think you're going to like.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's not from Lemurian. All right.
Yeah, I followed Lone.
We've got... Wait, this is not a chat question. Okay, so we've heard enough about your favorite music. I need to hear about your least favorite music. What do you fucking hate hearing?
What don't you like?
I'm not a huge fan of like pop country, I guess.
Like fair.
Because I'm like from the Midwest.
Oh.
I'm from Rockford, Illinois, which is like kind of west of Chicago, and I've heard so much fucking pop country that I can't stand it anymore. Or just like pop in general. I don't like dubstep very much. What else?
Dubstep. I mean, Skelly fucks with dubstep.
I do.
I don't know.
I wish I
like
could
it.
get into it, man. What do you think about rhythm, Skelly? Do you like rhythm?
Yeah, I'll listen to it. There's a Patti Smith in every genre.
I will never ever stand here and say dubstep is bad, because it's not. I just can't really get into it.
It's actually really fun in the live. If you're at one of those festivals and like everybody's like into it and dancing around in their little outfits and on their substances, then it like becomes really fun. It kind of requires all that sometimes, but I actually don't like listen to it terribly casually that often. But in that circumstance, it's really fun. It's like jungle noises, you know what I mean? It's like almost like this digital version of like growling and like being in the jungle.
That's true. Robot frogs.
Robot frogs.
Celadon Dream Suite with a banger question. Have you ever had a band or musician where you really liked their music, but they evolved as an artist in a direction that didn't click with you anymore?
Block Party.
Block Party, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
Block Party.
Block Party.
Yeah.
You know, I hate to say it. I really do, and I've been like trying to deny this for the longest time, but like Washed Out's new album is not good.
Damn.
I don't like it.
I haven't heard it.
It's just like he's going for like a Sade, like stripped down version of Washed Out, and like I like that old classic sound that he has, and I hope he kind of like goes back into like his earlier stuff. Let me think who else. Block Party is like the biggest example for me, for sure.
Just
like,
kind of
their music now is just
spun
terrible. It's terrible now, in my opinion. Yeah. Block Party.
I gotta say, man, you want to talk like chillwave acts? Teen Days and Brother Tiger are making some of the best shit they've ever made.
Teen Days is really
opinion.
great.
I love
Teen Days is so good. I remember like hearing about Teen Days like from like Adult Swim back in the day.
Right.
Or some shit.
Yeah.
That's how I heard about Washed Out, was in like 2009. I was watching Adult Swim, and they did their summer singles series that year, and You and I from Washed Out was one of their singles. and it
Interesting.
blew my fucking mind. I haven't done this. I haven't
Dude,
done the same.
shout out Adult Swim for putting so many people on.
Right? I wonder, is Adult Swim even a thing anymore? I don't watch TV.
Like kind of.
It's kind of.
Yeah.
It's not the way it was in like 2009. That's for
Well,
sure.
Yeah.
It's not the center of attention like it used to be because, well, I mean, everything's been decentralized because we
Yeah.
moved from television to the internet, right?
True.
Lux is talking in chat about a washed out playlist, like a bill that she has on her wall.
Oh.
So I've encouraged her to post a picture of it in the server, but she's got a set list. It's pretty cool. JS, lots of great tracks. Adult Swim was absolutely proto vaporwave short stuff, in my opinion. Like, what was it? Is it Ear Feeder? No, what's Flying Lotus's record label called?
That sounds about right.
Is that right?
Have you heard Flying Lotus's like alter ego project?
Captain Murphy.
Captain Murphy.
Captain Murphy is
not heard a lot of it.
ridiculous. It's so
absolutely,
great.
of course, for sure.
So much
I
Ghostly
love Captain
International and Brain Feeder. Sorry, Brain
said that,
Feeder
didn't I?
is his. I said Ear Feeder,
I said
which
Brain
I
Feeder.
think is actually, well, you probably did. I can't remember anything.
No worries.
Yeah, Brain Feeder and Ghostly International were the move back in the 2000s, the late 2000s.
Yeah, mid-late 2000s. Yeah, you're right.
So if you're listening to a song that you really like, what would be an example of something like a production style or a sound or instrument that would just ruin the song, like immediately turn it off, don't want to hear it again?
Man, that's a good question. Something that would ruin a song.
Damn, they are hating on trap drums in the chat.
I mean, trap drums are terrible.
Oh,
Trap drums are terrible. What are you guys
I-
talking?
Whoa.
I hate trap
Crazy.
drums.
Well, it depends.
You don't like those
That-
hi-hat
that is a
rolls?
good- that is. I don't like it. It's too much.
The bass lines can be
You know
fire
what?
sometimes.
Do you listen to like any of like the ambient trap stuff where they kind of really play with the drums and they do different things for it? So
Oh.
like I'm a big like think about something like Clams Casino, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So like think about like stuff that's influenced by Clams Casino. Like that shit's
Okay.
that's just amazing. The drums
Like-
always sound
It's
different.
like Witch House is like trappy, right?
Yeah, exactly. Or wave, like that's trappy. But they're doing like every one of the drums in that stuff sounds the same. It sounds different.
Yeah.
I mean, they're doing some kind of crazy thing, or they're using some strange samples, or layering with the reverbs. I love those hi-hats. They sound like snake rattle, like a snake's tail rattling.
That's
That's like the only thing I
Really-
don't like about that kind of music, especially like with like what's that like that Witch House band?
Which one?
Salem.
The one.
Salem?
Crystal
No,
Castles?
No.
White Ring?
Um,
Sidewalks and Skeleton?
Purity Ring?
No. Purity Ring. That's like the only thing I don't like about their music is like the.
I
the-
love it. I think it's
the
necessary for
drums.
that. I think it's necessary for that kind of music with their like little
Fair enough.
EB like little stuff that they like. What kind of other drums would you put over that kind of music?
I don't know.
That's
It's a good question.
Honestly, like
Maybe
hearing
I
a
need-
fat bass line and some just like sultry ass night creeping trap drums after
Yeah.
a drop is just
Yeah.
like
I love it. No, I see what you're saying though. I don't like a basic trap beat when
Yeah.
it's not being dressed up or they're trying something different. But I don't really like any kind of
Right.
like basic kind of beat if it's not being dressed up. I don't like anything that's like too derivative. But I think
Fair
that a lot of those waybacks are using like the most intense sounding drums I've ever heard in my life because they're so different and they're just trying to do things sound like they layer them with sounds of like lightning crashing and stuff like that sometimes.
Yeah.
And, like it's
Right.
really interesting. You know what I mean? Like so that's like when you're doing it like that, you know what I mean? You're trying to think outside the box, but you're using the syncopation patterns still. I think it's really sexy. I think it's sexy when you do the trap style drum beats, but you're changing the actual kit that you use to do different things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, I think that shit's sexy.
I think it's very
Fair enough.
sultry. All right, so
Hey,
you'll think
what's
of
next?
you'll
What's the
think of
next song?
something else that you hate, and
Yeah.
you'll come back and you'll jump in the chat. You'll be like, oh, I also fucking hate this. But Let's see. So, you've been involved in the vaporwave scene. Was that where you? I mean, you give us our story with Alex, but is that where you immediately landed, or did you ever have your feet in any other scenes?
Oh, that's a quick question. How did you figure out about vaporwave?
Yeah, answer that one
question.
instead.
Actually, I forgot about that. Hold on.
How did I figure out about vaporwave? I like heard Floral Shop forever ago and hated it. I hated it.
You hated it.
I hated it at first, and then I kind of like came back to it eventually.
Well, you said you found George Clanton too.
And then I found George Clanton, and then like
that sort of opened up another bunch of other artists that were loosely associated.
I think like
the movement, right?
I found George Clanton, and then I found his stream, and then I somehow found the Chillwave Kitten stream. I joined the Discord, and then there's like a bunch of vaporwave artists in there, and then I started like fucking with them.
So I realized it was more than what you thought it was at first.
Yeah, it was like ridiculous, like realizing like how much of the community there was behind it, and so yeah, that's how I found it, I suppose.
Yeah, and how much kind of room for creativity there is, and like a lot of times you find that like all these people are influenced by the same stuff that you are too. A lot are, you know what I mean? And you're like, that's how everybody gets grouped together. It's like it's very similar, like worldview of music.
Yeah.
Do you remember, Kyle, Tycho's ISO 50 blog?
I love that so much.
Me too, and I really miss the days that him and Heathered Pearls and Comtrues were like regularly posting like playlists and recommendations. I would download every single song they ever posted. Even the Bloghouse shit. But anyways, I discovered 18 Karat Affair via that Under the Mountain compilation that I think was compiled by Comtrues.
Yeah,
that's wild.
And it had I think it had Bitter Turns to Sugar on it, and I thought it was just like lo-fi synthwave or something.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what it was called, but I think you'll find it entertaining that I discovered vaporwave thanks to Scott. Can't remember his last name.
Hansen.
Tycho. Scott Hansen.
Scott Hansen. Yeah, that's wild.
Great curator he is.
Yeah. And I don't know, I think I might have stumbled onto his art before his music, honestly.
Oh, that's really nifty.
I have 2 of his posters, and his art style is so good.
Yeah.
So good.
He definitely kind of pioneered that whole early chill wave, sacred geometry, look.
Yeah.
You remember, do you remember how every other Giraffe Age album or Slow Magic had a fucking triangle or a circle, and then just the
There's
gradients?
So many people now that are just doing the Tycho thing.
Baths, his album cover was a circle.
Exactly. Yeah.
I remember somebody posted that shit. Someone was like, "What was it with
connection.
chill wave people and circles on the cover?"
Sacred geometry.
Oh man,
that's funny.
Good stuff. So, if you had to, I mean, you said a sound that you didn't really like was pop country. I'm trying to ask you to maybe pick a genre of music. Well, you already kind of said dubstep. All right, so let's just go into the live experience. Have you seen a lot of live shows, and have you got any favorites that you can tell us about?
I saw Washed Out during their Paracosm tour in 2013 at Bonnaroo, which was incredible because that's my favorite album of all time.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow. I also saw Empire of the Sun there.
Oh, wow.
Which also was really cool. I didn't expect the people, the fans of that band to be as dedicated as they are. They all had outfits and face paint, and they were super into it.
You said this was at 2013?
I think so. It was I went from 2012 to 2014, I believe.
Celadon Dream Suite says they were at the 2013 Bonnaroo.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But yeah, that was a good one. Recently, I saw Tame Impala. That show was nuts. I guess they like for that tour. It was like last year. They like had like 13 semi-trailers to haul around all the stuff for that show.
Damn.
And it was nuts.
What do they do like an of Montreal thing?
I never would have thought that Tame Impala, like you asked me like 12 years ago or whatever. I would never have thought.
Oh,
it would
dude.
be so
Tame
huge.
Impala was on Chillwave mixes. Like, oh, check out this.
I
this
saw
other...
Tame Impala at Bonnaroo, and it was terrible.
That's funny. Like, you would find a Tame Impala song like sandwiched between a Neon Indian and some throwaway Chillwave artist.
Yeah, now like look at them. What the heck? Wow.
Yeah, they've really blown up.
I miss like the old Tame Impala.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
Psychedelic rock, like Perth, Australia vibe.
What are some?
You using the surfing? You gotten into them yet?
Yes, a little
Yeah,
bit.
that's a great example of like a very like
bit.
chill wave, like maybe not so much chill wave, more like psychedelia.
Yeah, I got a lot of
Yeah,
psychedelia in there.
very psychedelic.
Yeah, I haven't gotten super into it. I don't like listen to like a ton of vaporwave. To be honest.
I was kind of curious if you were still like a vaporwave fan or not really. That answers
I don't
my
know.
question.
I don't know. Like
Well, and if I could just say, like,
know.
a lot of you and the other Coast to Coast guys are like vapor, but like adjacent. Also, you guys, all of you guys, like take house or shoegaze or dream pop or something and kind of like just make your own new, fresh version of it. Like the Coast to Coast Collective is a great example of people that are like doing fresh, new, exciting things with vaporwave and just kind of like genre bending a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I definitely agree.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that too.
What are some live shows that you've attended that you really did not enjoy? Like some would just
Unfortunately, I like most recently the one that I can think of is I went to see Small Black at a venue here. I
Oh.
don't think it was like them particularly, but I think it might have been like the sound guy.
Yeah.
Like it was way off.
There was definitely some shit going on
Way
with the
off.
main stage at Electronicon 3 with the sound.
Really?
Were you there?
Mm-mm.
No, you didn't make it. Damn.
I didn't make it. I hope to make it to one of those events
Oh,
eventually.
would
for
love
sure.
to dap you up, man. Oh, Luxury Noise just posted the C2C Spotify playlist.
Oh, yeah,
Thanks,
that's
buddy.
right.
Hell yeah. So Small Black or just the sound guy. Anybody else?
I saw this band called was it Jay Som?
Oh,
Som. Are
Jay
you familiar with Jay
Som.
Som?
Yeah, I listened to them a lot. They weren't good.
The live show wasn't great.
They're
But it
kind
was
of
like
damn.
it was like when they were like more new and they were like learning, and I think it was probably like their first like tour of like headlining shows.
They're like
so,
a pretty like lo-fi,
yeah.
It's kind of sometimes hard to translate that to a live performance without
Yeah.
like the intimacy of listening to it.
Yeah, I
just
didn't
by
think
yourself.
Yeah.
Damn, I've not heard them.
Yeah, they're like kind of like in the indie sphere.
Yeah.
I got you.
Lo-fi, indie-ish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, disappointing to hear it
Yeah.
wasn't very good.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but
What would be, in your opinion, whether it be a track, album, or artist, what would be your favorite example of your favorite genre of music?
my favorite example of my favorite genre of
If
music.
you had to take a time capsule or like one of those records that they have floating around in space for aliens to find to explain chillwave or shoegaze or whatever, like
Mhm.
what would you put? I know you gave us a playlist, but doesn't necessarily have to be one single track. It could be an artist or an album.
I mean, I kind of mentioned it before, but Paracosm.
Oh, yeah.
By Washed Out. Do you think that that's a definitive example of chillwave?
I think that's probably like what I would consider to be. So, Or like I don't know, it's like hard for me to decide between that and Within and Without.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But also, I guess like M83. What is that? What is that album?
I really want to know what your favorite album is by them.
Yeah.
I mean,
him.
it's really hard to choose between Before the Dawn Heals Us and Hurry Up We're Dreaming.
Hurry Up We're Dreaming is definitely like an epic album in that it's like really long and has a lot of like highs and lows.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick Before the Dawn Heals Us personally, just because it was so moving to me. It's probably because of when and where I heard it. It's probably not objectively better. It just means more to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably choose that too. But I don't know. It's hard to choose. I like
Saturdays Equal Youth is my favorite.
A lot of people in chat are saying
all of them.
Saturdays equals youth. Do
I
you
think that's
do you
one of my
remember the
least
very
favorites,
first?
though.
I love that
Oh, that's
album.
disappointing.
It was
I feel like that was like a
really
proto
like,
synthwave album.
pop sort of sensibilities in this like sort of quasi strange synthesizer world. I love that album.
I love his early work as well. It's almost like electronic post rock or like electronic shoegaze, like the first album, and then the one with Run Into Flowers. The second one, can't remember what it's called. Dead Cities, Red
Dead
Seas, and
Cities.
Lost Ghosts,
It's
something like
almost
that.
like chiptune.
Yeah. Definitely, he's definitely covered some ground between that first album and, the one that he's just recently put out. And then what was the other one before that?
Fantasy.
Junk, I think.
Junk.
Yeah, he's done a lot of soundtrack work too.
Oh yeah, he did like I think it was like Oblivion.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I definitely would love to do like scores of some sort
Yeah.
eventually. Like
Well,
a
it seems
video
like a
game
lot
or
of people
something.
who, are small, kind of bedroom producers like vaporwave artists and other scenes. If they don't make it big, quote unquote, they, ghost produce or they make soundtracks or, just little bits of music for like independent film or TV shows.
Yeah.
I did a soundtrack for fun one time.
Yeah.
Really?
Like, oh yeah, you can go online and like Google like Skeleton Lipstick. It was I think he remade this recently. The David Cronenberg had,
the David.
His first one was Crimes of the Future. It's like 60 minutes long. It was like his student, his thesis, right? And like, there's not really a soundtrack for it, so like I scored the whole thing for fun.
Wow.
It's pretty good. Yeah, like it was like interesting to look to do that because then you think about like themes, like musical themes, like what keeps repeating, like this is like the theme, this is like the song for it that starts it, and then like when you change to different like scenes, you do like a variation of that. You know what I mean, to keep the theme of the film moving forward, right? So like the first song that it opens with, the first piece I wrote, it like will come in several times throughout the rest of the movie as you get to like a new
Like a leitmotif.
Yeah. That's right. That was like the leitmotif. That's what that is. Yeah. Okay. So like that first like when the scene changes, I'll do like a different version of that like song, but like it's played slightly differently or there's slightly different instrumentation for it.
Palette swap.
You know what I mean? So like you keep the theme moving forward, but then you do other stuff once the scene starts. You start with the thing that you heard at the beginning, but then change it into something else, depending on the tension or whatever. Yeah, I did it for fun to like kind of actually to learn to produce better.
Yeah.
Right.
You can look it up on Skeleton Lipstick Crimes of the Future. You guys can watch that.
What's it called?
Crimes of the Future, but just that's the name of the thing of the movie. He actually remade it recently, but it's Crimes of the Future. It's Crimes of the Future and rescored by Skeleton Lipstick or whatever. Just put Skeleton Lipstick and Crimes of the Future together.
Check that out.
Whitewoods did his own score to the.
Oh yeah, of course, recently, yeah. To the
Yeah.
Wiz.
The Wizard. Yeah, you remember that old movie with the power glove? It's so bad.
Yes, definitely.
So Whitewoods like truncated the film and made like a Cliff Notes version of it and did his own like original soundtrack for it. What is an example of an artist that you really like, but is a colossal douchebag?
Oh no.
Or maybe somebody that you just don't like their music anymore because they're so awful.
Oh no.
You know, I was like literally talking to one of my friends about this today. So you know that band, the 1975?
Yes.
Yes.
So like,
Very popular band.
very popular band. There's been like things like circulating TikTok about Matty Healy that's just like kind of really problematic.
I feel like that's bound to happen eventually with that band.
Like he like will like make out with like teenagers at shows
Oh,
and
gross.
do other weird shit that he shouldn't do. Like some like slightly racist stuff at shows. I don't know. That's the only example I could really think
Damn.
of. But yeah.
So when it comes to something like that, are you a separate the art from the artist type, or do you just kind of continue to are you going to let that dull your shine, you know?
I mean, I really guess it really depends on the severity of it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Really, for me.
Thoroughly
But I mean,
agree.
like, I don't really even, like, really listen to the 1975 anymore. I wouldn't say that what I've seen to be enough, I guess. But, like, I don't know. I don't know.
It's tough. It's a case by
tough.
It's very nuanced.
Yeah, it's very nuanced. I have a lot of friends that would separate the art from the artist, from some of the more like controversial artists, and I don't know if I would agree with that.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
There's definitely a lot of artists that I have continued to enjoy but have stopped supporting.
Yeah.
Vocally,
Yeah, I mean, like,
financially,
yeah.
no more paying for their albums, no more being a loud and proud fan. Just like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm not going to let this behavior take this meaningful
Yeah.
experience away from me, but I'm damn sure not going to support it, like, fiscally.
Yeah, like, for example, like, I never really got into it, but like Kanye West, for example, like
Yeah,
Yikes.
he lost his mind
Yikes.
a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, I never really liked Kanye, but because I mean, in my opinion,
That's
he's kind of
a
always
hot
been,
take.
Like, no, I saw him at Bonnaroo actually, and it was terrible.
Really?
You know, I've
Yeah.
heard from a lot of people that have seen him live that he is like just doesn't appreciate his fans at all.
No, he like, I don't know what happened exactly, but he came on super late, and he would stop his set like multiple times to just like complain and like shit on the audience.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was
I've heard this
terrible.
many times, Chris. Have you not heard this?
I mean,
It's like a
no.
known behavior thing.
Yeah, it was pretty terrifying.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunate. If you could, without naming any names, tell us why you dislike the most overrated vaporwave act. No names. Tell us why you dislike them.
There's this like, oh god, I'm gonna get canceled.
I'm not going to get you canceled. I
What's
just want to know the
happening?
reason. That's all.
There's like this like there's certain like sound from vaporwave that's just like cheesy, and it's supposed to be cheesy, but I hate it.
Okay.
You mean
I
like
hate it.
like silly MIDI wave type stuff?
Yeah.
I
And
gotcha.
I don't like it, and like people like they kind of somewhat recently like came out with something, and people like freaked out over it and
Uh-huh.
whatever, and I was just like, this is terrible.
This is the content I crave.
MIDI
Oh
wave.
Did you
Yeah,
just say
but the
mini
MIDI
wave?
wave. No, I said MIDI wave.
I heard mini wave.
MIDI wave.
It doesn't matter. Oh man. I mean, listen, I'm on record just admitting that the Vectroid albums, the Home album, Prism Corp, I really can't get into, but like I respect it. It's just not
Yeah.
for me.
I only from Vectroid. I like Floral Shop and what's that other one?
Sick and Panic?
Called?
Is it a?
It's like their most like listener friend. Neo Cali.
Oh, I love Neo Cali.
Yeah.
Neo Cali is probably. I don't want to act like anything's objectively better than anything else, but I would say if you wanted like a starter kit to Ramona, I would say Neo Cali. I'm a really big fan of Seed and Synthetic Earth, but I get like shit on all the time for admitting that I really like that album.
Yeah, I can't really do anything else from Vectroid.
Damn.
Too much.
Not Color Ocean Road. I mean, Star Calc, they're both pretty similar to Neo Cali.
I mean, even that is too much. I don't know.
Too much. Hey, you like what you like, man.
Yeah.
What is your favorite artist's most overrated song?
Am I still allowed to like it if it's overrated?
You are 110% allowed to like it.
Washed Out, Feel It All Around.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I guess you could say it's overrated because it's overplayed.
Yeah, that's why.
I still think it's a phenomenal song.
I mean, especially like living here in Portland.
Oh,
like it's like,
yeah,
and it's kind of been like coined as like the Portland theme song in a way.
Right.
So
I never
like,
could. I couldn't get into Amor Fati.
I like that one.
It's not bad. It's just not for me.
No.
You know.
Portlandia
is gonna say we love that song.
What are Skilly? Where did you get the? What is the name of that? What is the name of that video game?
Undertale.
Undertale. Thank you. Where did you get the Undertale skeleton guy?
Around.
Unreal.
I don't actually play the video game, but I really enjoy it. I like watching the playthroughs of it. And I like all the stuff behind it.
You don't
like
play video games much, do you, Chris?
I don't play video
No.
games. I like watching it. Undertale in particular, I really enjoy everything about it. Its concept and all the stuff involved in it. But I can't.
If there was going to be any game this man would play,
playthroughs.
it would definitely be RPGs because he fucks with stories like that.
Who, me?
Okay.
I would play
Yeah.
RPG. Me?
Yeah,
I would
if there
never
was-
play an RPG.
Yeah, you would.
That day, no, I wouldn't. Absolutely.
Why
not.
would? Okay,
That's-
why not?
Because I'm living one. I don't want to play one.
What are you going to do? Play
My life
Tetris?
isn't- No, I play fighting games if I have to play a game. Or
Oh,
Doom with all
okay.
the cheat codes on.
Fair.
Fair enough.
All right, let
I
me
play
not act like I
fighting
know.
games.
Honestly, I am way late to
I
the
would
game.
never in my life play an
I would
RPG.
never in my life play an RPG.
Never in my life.
I really think
I
you
know.
like them, but all right.
I'll never. It's too much.
Damn.
It's too much. I love RPG. Let me.
They're
get
a
this.
lot. They're a lot.
Let me put this on the record right now that I love RPGs and I love all the lore and I love watching the playthroughs of them. I enjoy that a lot. I love watching my friends play them. I mean, if I can watch a Quip play one all day long, I totally will. You know what I mean? But I'm not playing that, man. I'm not.
It's a lot.
Doing
It's
that.
a time sink.
It is.
That's too much. It's too much. I could not. And even back in the days when I did play video games, like I could never play Zelda. I'm like, oh no.
And there is a lot of like suspension of disbelief. You know,
It's
some
not
of the
suspicion of disbelief,
stories
it's
are.
just the amount of time it requires of me.
Okay, yeah, that's a
I
really
love
good
it.
answer.
Let me tell you, especially did I not just go on record as saying I love them and I really enjoy watching the playthroughs. I find them very moving and powerful and beautiful pieces of storytelling and art. I can't sit.
You don't
there
want to spend like
do it.
120 hours.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like I love video games, but like I spend like way more time like watching other people play them than
Yeah,
I
I love watching them. I'll watch playthroughs
do.
all the time. I'm the guy who's going to cheer on the friends who play them. You know,
Good man.
I'll watch the people who play them. Like I'll watch Quip or 3D Blast or whatever. Play video games all day. It seems super fun to watch. That's exciting. I don't have to have the responsibility.
That's a good. Well said. Before
I
we
understand
finish,
how it is more meaningful though if you do play it though. Like it means a lot more. Anyway,
I would just like I was sitting here going, "Oh, Skelly doesn't like his time wasted. He's at least want to experience something that's moving and deep and like
No,
artistic."
I totally get what you're saying.
But
I
no,
totally
I get what you're saying too. It is a
But
huge time sink.
Yeah, no, I play fighting games.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that's, in my opinion, it's the button combos. I can't remember the goddamn button combos, y'all.
Yeah,
I mean, I've played Mortal Kombat all day long back in the day.
Yeah, and my reflexes just kind of suck. So you can have all the fighting games. Patchnotes.
I don't play them anymore, so that's fine.
No big loss.
I just watch the fatalities on YouTube now for the new ones.
Right.
That's all I do. Yeah, I go and watch those.
That's me. I'm not going to go get the Knights of the Round materia, but I'll damn sure look and see what the animation looks like.
Yeah, beautiful.
So,
amazing.
We've got to get this man to bed. Why don't you go ahead and cover, in our final portion, anything that you want to shout out or promote or say before we end our broadcast?
Go check out Endless Surrender and Golden Hour. And also I want to give out some shout outs. Luxury Noise, Econo
Hell
Jazz,
yeah.
Simple Syrup, Stray Medicine, Device Operator, Joy of Kittens, Soft Replica, all the CCC people, whoever
Great
has been a
people.
part of it. You guys are great. Yeah.
I've been a part of it too. Shout out
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah, shout out to you.
Shout
Go
out
check
to
out
me.
Go check out the Breathe remix.
Yeah.
From Skeleton Lipstick.
Or check
Fucking
out
banger.
The Price I Pay, which is also thank you
All right,
for saying
check
that.
out-
It's a banger.
It's
which
a
is on the
banger.
compilation.
Go check out The Price I Pay.
Those are all solid artists that you should definitely check out, and many of them are.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Short Stuff. Many of them are very good friends of the show too. Luxury Noise has
Yeah.
been a longtime viewer, mod in our server. Soft Replica, longtime friend of mine.
Also, Strip Silence. Shout out to Strip Silence.
Shout
I
out
met
Strip
them
Silence.
a while back. We had like a weird little get together with Strip Silence, Cocaine for Toothaches, and
Oh wow.
Darian Shields.
Darian Shields.
Oh
That's
wow.
right. That was
What a
fun.
meetup.
That was fun. Yeah.
Fun. You guys are
I'll
all
have to
in
do it
Portland?
again. Yeah, I guess so. Well, Cocaine for Toothaches is like in, I think, Eugene, which is quite a bit south from here, but
That's where Codex
Area.
and Seg Octopus are, I believe.
yeah.
Nice. Well, anything else you
For
want to
sure.
promote or name drop? Got anything cool coming up? Any live stream events? Any live shows?
I might be playing
Singles?
a live show. I might be doing like a festival.
Sick.
I have two things in the works. I have a single coming out with an artist by the name of Lynx.
Oh
she
yeah,
does,
they
like,
collab with
kind of,
Hotel
like-
Pools.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
And then also another person named Tiva, who's out in the UK.
Interesting. I look forward to that.
Sick.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, anything cool going on?
Yeah, nothing new.
No. When's the next
First
T-Chill?
time I got nothing new. I don't know yet.
No.
Sure.
Did it go pretty well the other night?
Well.
Yeah. Good man.
Well. I don't know the
And
next
your
one
other
yet.
show? Do you have an upcoming date for that one?
Clips?
Yeah, the darker one.
Not yet. I'm
Not
probably
yet.
gonna bring it to Brooklyn soon.
Keep your
too,
ear to
as
the
well.
ground.
It'll be coming to Brooklyn soon also.
Brooklyn.
Mhm.
Sick. Man's making big money moves.
I mean, soon. I don't have a date yet, but I'm talking to people. But yeah, I got nothing.
We've got
I got nothing new right
Helios
now.
3 coming up.
Oh, that's
Don't have a
right.
date on
Oh,
that
yeah.
yet. Helios 3 is coming up, and I've got a 20-minute cloud rap set that I sent to Ming Curry a couple months ago, and that he really liked, so can't wait for you guys to hear it. I challenged myself to do a cloud rap set without any Bones, Blady, Xavier Wolf, or Young Lean, and I did it.
Nice. I'm excited.
So, yeah, it'll be good. A lot of great live shows coming up this summer that we're cooking. Of course, Midwest Static is coming up July 29 with myself, Luxury Elite, Fire Tools, Vape Error, Sound Market, Simple Syrup, and a handful, I think a Hero's playing as well, or I may be misremembering. Some other local acts that whose names are escaping me, but we got, Summer Synapse. That's what we're calling it. Thanks, Lux. Some other stuff that's just not really named yet. We've got something being worked on by someone that's in chat right now, actually. That should be exciting. I'll be doing something cool for them. Haven't decided what yet. Something chill, something wavy, something synthy, you know. And thanks so much for tuning in tonight, guys. We appreciate all of our regulars. We appreciate our new viewers. Thank you guys for being here and for helping us promote. Thank you for your generous donations tonight. Again, you're invited to jump into our public Discord community server. Follow the link that I just posted. You're invited to donate if you haven't already. If you feel led to do so, all donations go towards, paying people in our scene for helping us out and upgrades to our equipment. And then, of course, thanks Lux is blowing us up with the links. Follow us on the various social media platforms. We're here to give back to the community. We're here to let you participate and communicate and to give a platform to the people that you love. And speaking of which, you can find us at the same time, same place. That's 9 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday, May 22nd, right here where we'll be bringing on Hawaii 94.
Oh, yes.
Otherwise known as Skyraider HQ, otherwise known as Neoclone, otherwise known as half of iconic Australian duo Surfing. We're bringing my boy Lee Nania on, and I'm very excited for our first non-American guest.
Patchnotes, you should listen to Hawaii 94 as well.
Hawaii 94, if you like chillwave, is phenomenal.
You should listen to Hawaii 94, which is
definitely check out.
Yeah.
Definitely check out Reality with a @ instead of an A. It was, I think, released on Stratford Court.
You'll actually love that.
Oh,
You'll
yeah.
love that.
Reality.
Yeah.
Reality with an @ instead of an A.
This is,
2012,
Lee.
y'all. It dropped.
Lee, the guitarist for Surfing's side project.
Good stuff. Very excited to talk to Lee. So be here, and then, of course, if you like the show, like I said, follow us on social media, jump in our Discord, retweet, and be sure to get on that 2-for-1 $15 at pacificplaza.bandcamp.com. Support this man fiscally and listen to his work. Thanks, everybody. We're going to roll an ad for Lux's own Neon Nights show tomorrow night, and I hope to see you all there. Good night, everybody.
Good night.